It seems to be a range trading day. We could see an incoming crash potentially happening. And if you want to know why, I'll show you on the charts here in just a second. If you were here yesterday, you took big gains. Just saying, you took big gains, okay? Because you longed, right? And you shorted, okay? I can show you the trades here in just a second. Caught the gains, great, good for you. Good, great, grand, wonderful. One thing I can tell you is that the people inside of the Nordic Alpha community, they all killed it if they were paying attention. I can't press the buttons for you. I can give you the levels. I can give you the trades. I can show you the technical analysis. I can tell you what's going on in the broader landscape of the markets and give you some context behind it, but I can't do the damn thing for you, right? Actually, we are coming right back down to the point of control right damn now. Right damn now. So give me 1 second. This might be a good little position. Okay. So let's talk about it. Let me get my stuff up in here. Bang. We are also not going to talk about anything outside of what just happened, okay? So I want to talk about the 5-minute to 1 hour chart, all right? Because if we gave you the broader context yesterday, and I can show you the broader context again, I'd rather not. I just don't necessarily think that it's super duper pertinent right off rip at least. But I do want to say from an overarching perspective, there's a lot more liquidity below us than there is above us, okay? Although we are in a bullish formation from a market structure perspective on the 15-minute chart, definitely, I totally get it. But the higher time frame charts that you get up to, the worse that market structure is and the more that it's kind of to the downside, right? Now, that's not to say, obviously, the market structure has to turn around on the 1 minute, then the 5 minute, then the 15, then the 30, then the 45, then the hour, then the 4 hour. You know what I'm saying? It works its way up, but in the same way, it trickles its way down, okay? So I'm going to give you some key levels that you really need to pay attention to. And we're just going to get into it. How much money did I make today? Like $830 or something like that in a couple of hours. It was great. It was great. John killed it, and I'll show you the profits. We're not going to sit here and gatekeep this stuff. There's no reason for us to do that. So, as you can see, here's all of John's profits for the day. He took a nice scalp earlier for about $1,000. And then, 162, 170, 62, 36, 60, 114. Nice little scalps, man. Nice little scalps. Very consistent. Okay. Very, very consistent. Mine are a little less impressive in terms of how many trades, because John just scalps his ass off. Absolute murder. Mine was whoops, that's public TA. Mine were these right here. So first and foremost, I got this one, right? That long. It was $308 on the long, and then $800 on the short thereafter, right? And this was the long that we were talking about yesterday. Bitcoin needs to get to this level, right? And then just took another one that was $122, right? So after fees, I probably made maybe $1,000, $1,100. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it comes out to at the end of the day. But yeah. So let's talk about what's going on. Let me know if there's anything you want me to look at in the comments section below. Drop it in there. I'll take a couple of TA requests, but we're just going to cook on Bitcoin first and foremost. So I've kind of cleaned the charts up a little bit, and I've only got a few things on here, right? Which is your SVP, which is your sessions volume profile, basically meaning what's the volume profile for just today, right? And the trading volume that is inside of today. And as you can see, today's got a lot of liquidity below us, right? Okay. You got a lot of liquidity right here. Bang, 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 bang. And none of it's been taken out yet, but that doesn't mean that it's going to get taken out anytime soon, right? And what I meant by today was just like a liquidity grab day. Like, first and foremost, I'll show you. So this was all just liquidity right here, right? This was all a nice little move down where we took this liquidity, all this liquidity, right? We took it, boom, reversed it all the way back up, right? Then what happened? All it was just another liquidity curve right here, right? All the way up to here, bang, guess what we did? We took all that out, right? And then guess what we created? You guessed it, another liquidity curve, right? All the way down to here, and we're trying to go back up and start taking this liquidity again. And all we've done is range inside of this range, right? Let me pull my SVPs off and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is like a scalper or a day trader or an intraday trader's dream, right? Whenever you see stuff like this. This is literally just the range from where we made this big ass move all the way up from here to here, right? If you look from this candle right here, right? We can pull it over just a tad bit. Bang. From this candle to obviously this all-time high candle right here. And pull it over just a tad. Boom. Okay. So this is the range. And as you can see, we just value area high. Bang, right? We got deviated outside of it. Boom. Full range rotation all the way down to the value area low. That's where I got this trade. Where's that? That's where I got this trade, 115.6. Took profits at 114.8. That was an incredibly quick move, right? Let me close this out. I don't want this on the screen. That was an incredibly quick move. Like 114.2 is where we got to. I took my profits right here. By the end of the move, there was nothing I could do about it, right? It was already starting to move back up. And I was like, I'm not going to wait for it to come back down here because what you got was a VWAP bounce here. Very simple, right? Then we got our full range rotation. We came back down. We tested VWAP. We bounced, hit the very top end of it, right? Hit the very top end, value area high. And then we just went right back down to VWAP again, right? And so what did I do? I mean, you saw it, right? Where's that? Shorted it from 115 down to about 114.7, right? After we got that rejection, and then we lost the point of control, which was right here, right? So here's where we rejected. Here's where we lost the point of control, back tested it. I just shorted from right here to right here. Very simple trade. 115 to 115 to about 114.5-ish, something like that. And now we have bounced again from VWAP. I just took my profits at VWAP, okay? So, I mean, these are like, I can tell you that it's a simple strategy. I can tell you that. Is it a simple strategy? Yes. But the problem is not this, right? It's very easy to see whenever I'm like, okay, we deviated from the top here, and then we got a full range rotation, right? And then it's like, then we bounced from our VWAP, right? Give me 1 second. Then we bounced from our VWAP right here and reclaimed the point of control, bounced from VWAP again, got another full range rotation, right? So it's very easy to see that, and then, okay, we take profits at the VWAP, we lose the point of control, we take profits at the VWAP, and then we go for a bounce. I get it totally, right? I think everybody understands the methodology behind it, right? But it's not as easy as one may think, right? Because when you're taking these moves, right, these massive moves like what we took today, where we said, okay, I'm going to make $800 on this trade. I'm going to make $300 on this trade. I'm going to make, what was it? 122 bucks on this trade or whatever, right? When you're taking these moves, it's very easy to see those moves and for me to come in here and give you a trade recap and show you exactly what happened. But it's much harder to do it here, right? It's much harder to do it here because you got to figure out where these levels are going to be, right? And whenever you play this, right, you kind of see, bang, like how fast this happens. And this is what's happening in real time. And you're like, okay, do I short here? Do I short here? Do I wait? Do I wait? Okay, back test, boom, bounce. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's really easy for people to be like, yo, this is what I did and this is what we're doing. But you have to understand the methodology behind it and the reasons behind it. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything. And we give you that methodology and the reasoning and basis behind it inside of the Nordic Alpha VIP trading room, right? We give out these trades inside of Crypto TA every day, inside of Metal TA every day, inside of Equities TA every day. JP gives out his scalps, his swings, his altcoins, all of it, right? Metal scalps, all that type of stuff every single day. Now, one thing I do want to alert people of is inside of the VIP trading room, we literally told people about this trade right here, right? You got this one first. Bang, right? Rejection from the 2.0 fib, taking it down to the 1.786. Full rotation, full take profit, and then guess what you did? You flipped it. That's all you did. All you did was you flipped it, and now you're already in a risk-free, profitable trade. That's on silver. That's on silver. I gave that out days and days and days in advance. I gave that trade out, those trades out last week. That's how long we've known about these levels. Like, when I tell you we're in this room, we're not effing around. We're not. We are not here to play around. We're here to make money. We're here to get money. And anybody that's in there, I am also here to make sure you pay for your membership, which, granted, is not much money. I get it. It's only $29 a month, right? Like, I have a trade that's up $30 right now. Like, whatever. I get it. $29 a month is not super hard to make. But imagine if you pay $29 a month to be in a frigging trading room with a guy that's got an 89% win rate and you make $3,000. It's nuts. And then there's a second guy that also has like an 80 to 90% win rate. It's insane, man. If you're not in the private VIP trading room, I have absolutely no idea what you're doing. So let's talk about what's going on with Bitcoin, right? There is a potential that we come up here and we take out this liquidity curve. Now, my bias is, could you take out this liquidity right here, get another rotation up, because you didn't get a full rotation to the bottom. So I would want to see, are we going to form a head and shoulders here, right? Shoulder, head, right shoulder, boom, and then blast down. I think it's very, very likely that that could happen. And then guess what happens once that happens? This is what you're looking at, my friends. This is what you're looking at. That is not it. This is just all friggin' liquidity and stop losses, man. That's all it is. It's all liquidity and stop losses. And you start taking out this low right here, 113.3. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it gets real nasty. And that's what I was trying to tell people yesterday. I said, hey, if you go and look at my thumbnail yesterday, it literally said Bitcoin needs to go here. And it was 113.5, right? Or thereabouts, right? Why was that the key level? Because we had a naked VWAP and a naked point of control there. We tagged them within $200, okay? Within like 150 bucks. And then I said, look, the reason why we need to go here is because we go down here, we take the liquidity down here, we bounce from a previous high, we come up here and we hopefully set a new high on the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the 45-minute, the 1-hour chart, bang. Then we're looking a lot better for bullish momentum moving upwards, right? Now, is that a guarantee? No, of course it's not. Of course it's not a guarantee that we're going to keep moving upwards. But since we took out this high, it's a higher high, right? This was your previous high. This is now your low. Since you know that this is your high, you would be looking for a retracement somewhere in the 50 to 75% range, right? To then go higher to get your bounce, right? Now, obviously, you want to stay above VWAP because you get below VWAP, you're probably coming down here to the value area low, about 114,320 bucks. Now, if any of this stuff seems foreign to you, I totally get it. It guarantee you it could seem very foreign to people whenever they're talking about and looking at shit like this, because it's like you're learning a foreign language, right? But what this value area means, just means this is the value area of Bitcoin in this range, okay? That means that once you get above here, this is excess, right? Once you get below here, this is discount, okay? And you would be looking for buys down here, and you would be looking for sells up here, which is exactly what I did up here, and then bang, killed it, right? Killed it. So that's kind of the just really quick spoiler on, what does this value area mean, right? We'll see. Let's see if we crack this low now, right? Because if we crack this low, this is going to be bad news for Bitcoin. Well, not super bad news, but this would be your new high. This would, wherever we go. Yep, there it is. There it is. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. So now what we do is we look for a retrace and then a continuation downwards break of structure. That's it. It's that simple. It's legitimately that simple. Now we look for the retrace up here. Now that we have our lower swing low, we look for our lower swing high somewhere up here, probably in this realm, bang, and then a break of structure to take us downwards, right? Now, we haven't really taken out anything that's too terribly concerning or worrisome, but that's why I'm saying once you get outside of here, this is where you're looking for buys, right? Now you start taking out swing lows, this swing low for sure, right? At 13.3, that's where it gets nasty. And you got to start thinking about a new range here, right? You got to start thinking about a new range, okay? So let's see what we got. One second. Yeah, let's see where this thing kind of finishes out at. Let's see what the RSI is doing really quick. I like looking at the relative strength index. Okay, so I mean you've got a big move down here, to the 30 range. I mean this doesn't really get concerning until you get down here to about 25, 20, right? So you would like to see it come here and then kind of get a bounce, and then you'll kind of see what happens from there, right? But this thing does have the ability to move down in a big way. Really wish I would have held my short here, right? Really wish I would have held my short here because I would be even further in the money. Right? And then you just keep trending up, right? You don't know these things and you have to take your profits whenever they are available, right? So let's see what happens. No, there's no discount. I mean, it's $29, bro. I don't know how I can discount that. But there is a discount in terms of if you buy. I can actually just show you. I can just show you. So let's get into the trading room. I'll show you. There is a technical discount, but if you're just doing month to month, no, there's no discount. I'm not going to discount something that's $29 that could potentially make you I mean, you see it, ridiculous, redonkulous money. Join VIP trading room. You should come right here, right? And you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. Let's see what we got. So you can subscribe here and you can get 5% off if you do 3 months. You can do 10% off if you get 6 months. You can do 20% off if you do 12 months, right? And so if you do that, your total actually comes down to $23 a month instead of $29, but you got to pay it all up front and it's like $278 or something like that. That's as good of a technical discount as I can give you. That's all I can really do for you, man. Because the thing is I know that it's worth its price of admission, so I'm not going to discount something whenever I know it's going to I know the power of it and what it can make people, right? So, and I'm sure that you wouldn't do it either, right? You wouldn't do it either if you had that. So yeah. To get funded, I mean, yeah, I tell people how to do that inside of the foundation and inside of the blueprint, right? Which again, all of that is also inside of the Discord, the blueprint training, right? There's an entire section on prop firms, and in the foundation, there's also an entire section on prop firms too. So yeah, I mean, feel free to get in there, you know, do whatever you want to do, man. You know, feel free to get in there because no time is better than the present. I can promise you that, because this is the least expensive it will ever be, right? So yeah, now we are breaking market structure to the downside, right? We are breaking market structure to the downside. We definitely have a confirmed market structure shift. That does not mean you just start blindly shorting here. I need to tell people that because I feel like people don't know that. Can you blindly short here? Yes, absolutely. You're a human being. You can do whatever you want to do. I am not advising anybody to blindly short here. Why? Because you now have a leg down, right? Here's your first leg up, right? Well, this is your first one. Then we got this. Hold on one second. It's your new high, new low, new high. Well, technically, this isn't a high because, yeah. This is your new high, your new low. New high, new low, right? And now you have a new low, and here is your new high, okay? So now we can move this as your high and say, this is your new high. Do I have my magnet tool on? No. This is your new high, and this is your new low, as it sits right now. So what you would be looking for, there's an order block up here, by the way, right? You could be looking for a retracement to about there, right? Now, you got to wait and see where this thing settles out at too, because as it sits, this is the low, right? But that doesn't mean anything right now because it could just continue to go lower, right? Even though RSI is way down here, stochastic's way down here, look at money flow, it's coming out, right? You could just see it go lower. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to come all the way back up here that fast, right? Boom. Right? Could take you a while. Could take you a while, but you do have a nice order block up here to target. And I bet you that that is right around the 50%. Yep. Get you up to the point of control, right? Get you up to the almost extreme premium zone where you'd want to be selling, right? And that's where you can start thinking about entering, right? Is around, I'd say 114,850, something like that. 114,850, yeah. That's my bias. That's what I would be doing, right? That's what I would be doing if I'm looking to enter here. Now, obviously, you got to wait for a retracement. You can't just, I mean, you can just blindly jump into things, but it's not advised. It's not advisable to do stuff like that because you could absolutely just get yourself murdered. Say you enter your short here and you just blindly enter and you're like, oh, I'm going to go down here, right? Okay, great. Well, what happens when they reverse it back up here? You just get stopped out and you should have just entered up there because you would have had a way better position to target this and a new low, right? And if the thing turns around on you, you're going to be super pissed. You're going to be super salty that you didn't just wait for a retracement. I mean, dude, this is a better position than this, right? This is a better position than this, right? And this is ultimately a way better position than that. I mean, you've even got a friggin' fair value gap all the way up to $114,777 on the literal 5-minute chart. I can't imagine what it is on the 10. Yeah, same thing. 114.8, right? What about the 15-minute? Same thing. 114.7-ish. It's looking nasty, right? It's looking nasty. You got to get a retrace back up. You can't sit here and chase it. You don't want to chase it. This would be a better longing opportunity. I'm not telling you to long, but I'm saying this would be a better longing opportunity than it would be shorting, right? So look at this. Get this magnet tool off. Higher lows, right? But lower lows on RSI, right? Lower lows on RSI. What's that? Does anybody know? It's a textbook hidden bullish divergence. Basically telling you that RSI is getting so low that it could be bottoming out and start to reverse while price is setting higher lows, meaning that price has, momentum to the upside, potentially. And there's no guarantee, again, right? Like, there is no guarantee of any of this stuff. You have to be ready for any scenario inside of trading. What if that order blocked liquidity gets taken out, creating a higher high on the retracement? What if the order blocks liquidity? What is going on? Hold on one second. Sorry. Try and get this stuff off of my chart. There we go. Just trying to get RSI and stuff off of my chart. Okay, so if that order block, okay, this would not make a higher high. Okay, this would not make a higher high. You could still take this out and still make a lower high. Remember, your high is up here. This is your high. Your high is right there. That is your highest point, right? This was your prior high. This was your prior low. Or at the very least, this was your prior low, right? Let's see if that took anything out. Yeah. Yeah. So this was your high. This was your low. This was your high. This was your low, right? Came down here, set a low. This was your old high, right? Then you cracked it. This is your new high. This is your new low now, right? So you would have to come back up here past $115,588 to set a new high from a market structure perspective on the 5-minute chart. Now, on the 15-minute chart, you got to come all the friggin' way back up here too, right? All the way back up there. So, I mean, you just got to watch, man. You got to be ready for any potential scenario. But that's where you can also start looking at this. Not that one. Sorry. I'll just draw a new one. I don't care. Dude, this thing just got murdered. Look at this candle, man. Holy shit. That thing just took a dump. That's a big ass dump, man. That is nastiness. I mean, it's probably wanting to come down here and take out this naked VWAP. I mean, this naked VWAP's literally $300 away. I would not be surprised if you didn't come down here and just bounce, right? Yeah, RSI is basically super oversold on every time frame from the 1 minute all the way up to the 15. 30 minutes where it starts to get not oversold, right? But again, these have to reverse before you can see anything on the 30-minute. So, we'll see what happens here. But anyways, in any case, this is what I was getting ready to show you. Where's our fixed range? Okay. Where's the fixed range for this big one? Look at that. So this is the range from the big dump right here, right? This big dump all the way down to the low right here, okay? So click on it. Let's see. This is right here. This is where it should be. And you are now sitting right on that value area high. And that's why I'm saying, like, if you get accepted back into this friggin' range, dude, 111. First and foremost, 111. You're going to start taking out this liquidity curve, nasty style, right? Who keeps calling me from Sacramento? Stop calling me. I know no one in Sacktown, period, ever. Never even been there. So, somebody keeps calling me on my phone. Now, you come down here, you get accepted back into this value area at 113.8, especially if you take out this 113.3 range right here. You could see a nice pullback. I mean, you could see coming down to 111, right around there, right? Which is where these prior lows were, right? And a big move up. And secondarily, you could see yourself coming right back down here to this naked VWAP and this naked point of control, right? Which is at 109.5, which is a level we've been talking about for quite a while, to be honest with you, right? Been talking about this level for a minute. Call it what it is, okay? So, I mean, ultimate target on this would be 107, and then that could get you really, really friggin' close to the last naked point of control, which is 109, that could get you, wipe out all of this liquidity, right? 109.5, or 105, sorry. Wipe out all this liquidity and then start moving up, okay? And that's when you could start thinking about this. Come down here. Bam. You break market structure to the upside with a break of structure right here. Boom. We're up. We're off to the races, right? You want to see this low get SFP'd with a bullish divergence, right? And the bullish divergence obviously means that you have to have a little bit lower of a low, okay? So you would like to see probably 103.5 get hit, because as it sits right now, from a daily perspective, these are the only two levels that matter, right here and right here, man, unfortunately. I mean, even right here, you just broke this. Like, say you leave all this out over here, right? And your big Trump dump wick nastiness, right? And you leave that out. Even so, here's your high, here's your low. Higher low, now you have your higher high. This is still your low, man. So you have to uphold this low to start thinking about being bullish, which is good news, because that just basically means that so long as you stay above $103,500, dude, yeah. Not really understanding what you're saying. Do you do short analysis on different crypto charts? Recommended. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Pick one, ICP or cubic. Which one do you want? Because I can't do your whole portfolio for you, bro. I can't do your whole portfolio for you. So which one, ICP or cubic? First and foremost, we are going to go to Ethereum. But let's get back down here to Bitcoin really quick. Pull this back up. Bang, bang. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're getting a nice little bounce here. You know, you could get what I was hoping, what could have been awesome, right, was this. And this is for the bulls. This is for the bulls. This is not for bears, right? You get this. Boom, 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 bang, right? So we were hoping, like, you know, you just get your bounce from VWAP, but you kind of got screwed on that, okay? Had we bounced from VWAP here, dude, this is an inverted head and shoulders pattern, super bullish, and like the bears were like, nope, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Sorry, bruh. So now we just got to wait for this bounce to come in and see, do we get back up to this order block? And if we do, great. You know what I mean? Like, great. We got to see what happens there. But now I want to go to ETH. And I want to go down to the 15-minute chart on BTC. Yeah, see, there you go. You're kind of getting your little bounce. RSI coming back out of the negative. See what it's doing on the 5-minute, though? Yeah, see how deep that was? 20 on the RSI, man. That's low RSI. Even on the 15-minute or 10-minute, that was at 25. And then the 15-minute, you bounced basically right from the 30 line. It was almost like a perfect bounce. With the 30 on the 30-minute, it wasn't, you know, obviously wasn't as far down as like 36, whatever. But yeah, I mean, you're kind of seeing like the turnaround. Let's see. Dude, look how far this was down on the 1-minute. 12. Call the cops, right? Call the cops. It's super oversold, right? But I don't want to be on the 1-minute chart. I want to be on like the 10 or the 5, maybe the 15. Yeah. That's better for me. Okay. Nice recovery, but just absolutely just demolished VWAP, right? Just demolished VWAP. Here's the other thing you have to take into account. VWAP is an institutional-based tool. VWAP is an institutional-based tool. So you have to watch, if we do get back up here, you got to watch what happens at VWAP 114.6, okay? That is key. That is a key level that you got to keep on your radar, because if you don't, you are literally playing with fire. You are playing with fire, because you see what happens at VWAP, right? You lose VWAP, boom, right? You gain VWAP, boom, 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 right? You lose VWAP, bam, right? So you could come up here and get a rejection at the VWAP too, is all I'm saying. Let's set our new low. 113.5. That's all you really got to do. I mean, and let's call it what it is. I mean, that's a double bottom right there for the most part, for all intents and purposes. I mean, that's almost a double bottom, right? Look at this. Bang, bang, bang. Triple tap, boom, right? Like, you could see a nice little pump from here. But, you know, the last time that you broke this, were you breaking market structure to the downside? I mean, we can see, right? You break here, you break here. This is your low. Well, technically, this is your low. You break here, no low. You break up there, this is your low. You break that low, this is your high. You break that low, this is your high. You break that low, this is your high. Again, you break that low, this is your high. This is your high, low, low. Yeah, technically you were in a downtrend right there. So, I mean, you did break market structure to the downside, but you didn't break it to the downside on this move like you did on this one. You broke market structure to the downside on this move. That was nasty. That was pure filth. Let's look at ETH. Yeah, I mean, ETH is still doing what it's doing, man. We're not getting our entries. Still didn't get the entry. Tried to come up above it. Blast up. Boom. No entry yet. Just straight rejection, man. Straight rejection on the daily chart. Right? Value area high rejection. This is the only trade you got. It's the only trade you got, right? So on a daily closing basis, you would have entered on this next candle. This is your rejection candle, topping tail. You're in, it's a 14x risk to reward trade. You're probably at like, I don't know, what, 2x risk to reward right now? Yeah, it's a good trade. I mean, it's a good trade. We'll see what happens, right? But you're targeting these lows ultimately if you can. Not saying that it'll get there, right? But you got to see what happens. You got to see what happens. Is Bitcoin still just dumping out? Yeah, it is. Nah, it's not really dumping out. You got to see what happens here. With ETH, this is all that matters. This value area high, and then these two support and resistance line. All you're doing is you're just squeezing, right? Now, it is arguable that you're in like a massive, massive bull flag, which I totally understand, right? Like people could say, oh, well, this is just a huge bull flag, man. Yeah, maybe it is, but your breakout point is still all the way up here, right? Your breakout point is still above $4,500. You got a lot of work to do to get there. Okay, is all I'm saying. Doesn't mean that you're going to, right? Doesn't mean that you're going to get here and then get your bullish bounce. Okay, so let's look at XRP, because I know XRP's probably just got demolished, right? No, it didn't. It didn't. And it turned around. It turned around that descending triangle. This is a bearish pattern that breaks down. And if you want to know what all these patterns are and you want to know how to trade all of this stuff, dude, you got to get into my blueprint and foundation. Okay. So there you go. Bang. Took a little off of your Bitcoin trade, leaving the rest to ride with house money. That's how you trade, man. Everybody take notes. That's exactly how you trade. I took all of mine off. I took all of mine off. So you did better than me because you're still printing, right? Let's see. We'll go to Toshi here in a second, man. We'll go to Toshi here in a second. Let me get this. Dude, who keeps trying to call me from Sacramento? I'm blocking this number. Congratulations, you have been blocked. Crazy people, man. Yeah, okay. So here's what it really comes down to on XRP. I mean, you've got a downtrend, right? It's very clear to see. I think everybody can see that. You really got to break this value area high at $2.83. That's what gets you bullish, right? You had a little leverage. Mine was like 50x. And I do not suggest doing that unless you understand my methodology and why I would go a 50x leverage. Do not go 50x leverage because you will lose your money. My stop loss determines my leverage and position size, okay? I trade very different from a lot of people. And if you want to know those strategies and you want to know the math behind that, again, get into the alpha, Nordic Alpha private VIP trading room first and foremost. That's your easiest path to get in. Secondarily, you got to get into the foundation and you got to get into the blueprint, man. Because that's where I teach you all that. I actually just taught that exact method, how my stop loss determines my position size. I just taught that to somebody today on a mentorship call. You can book a mentorship call too if you want to, right? If you actually have real questions and you're really serious about it and you want to know. Yeah, until the exchange turns off. If you use your stop loss out of the gate with cross, that's how you reduce your liquidation price. If it's isolated, the liquidation price is way higher. That's how my favorite's 111x. So that's all good and well until you see this candle show up. And I told you about this the other day. That's all good and well until you see this show up. And then you realize that your exchange isn't allowing orders to leave the books or get put back on the books because they can't keep up, and then it crashes. Or, for example, the AWS servers go down like they just did, and then you are absolutely effed in the A, dude. There is nothing in the world. Paul, you could pay me, bro, and I still wouldn't use cross. There is absolutely zero things in the world that would ever make me use cross. You will never be able to sell me on that. It is like trying to give ice to an Eskimo. You will not be able to be successful on the sale of cross to the Drew Wolfer. If you need more than 100x leverage, bro, you're trading some wild stuff. You're getting some extremely awesome setups, right? I get that. But I understand what you're saying. But if you look at it, a 100x leverage, that means that the asset has to move 1% away from you in order for you to get liquidated, right? That's because 100 divided by 100 is 1, right? So in and out with that kind of leverage, yeah, you gotta be super, super aggressive moving your stop losses too. So as it sits right now for XRP, you get above $2.83. You're looking bullish. You get below $2, dude, this is an incredibly bearish. I'm not saying it's over for XRP. I'm just saying it looks absolutely horrendous. Let's look at Solana, see if anything has changed for Solana today. I doubt that it has, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, you're right in the middle. Yet again, you're still friggin' in the middle, man. Right here, dude. I mean, this is your trend line right here as it sits, right? This is your trend line. You really just need to get back up above here, okay? For Solana, you really just need to reclaim $207. You need a bounce here. You do not want to get under this 0.5 fib. I promise you that. You do not want to get around under this. And even worse, you take out this 0.382. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. I mean, this 1.618 retrace would have been nice if you had gotten it back here when we were setting it up. It just didn't work. It just didn't work. Yeah. We'll see what happens with Solana. Nothing really matters until you cross 206 or you break under here, right? Right here, the 0.382. This is just a descending triangle, right? You get this, you're going to break down, okay? You get under that 0.382, which is 172, you're probably going to break down in a pretty meaningful way. Let's see what silver and gold are doing. And gold's still pumping. This is the trade we gave out on gold. Absolutely killed it. Full take profit. We haven't gotten the entry for the long yet, but you know, it is what it is. What you can't catch them all, man. Can't catch them all. Bang. And let's get this out of here. Silver's printing pretty well, but again, you know, you're only about probably 30% into your take profit level. Nothing you can do about that. Let's see what happens here on the S&P though. The S&P tanks, dude, it's about to get real nasty. The S&P rolls over, it's about to get real friggin' nasty, okay? Like crypto's going to dump hard if the S&P rolls over. People are probably lucky that this thing's about to close in 12 minutes, right? Now, futures aren't going to close, right? Because futures just continue to go 24/5, right? They close down for an hour to reset the books and rebalance everything. But other than that, that's it, right? Let's look at, what was that one guy saying? ICP? Pretty sure we already have that. Probably on Coinbase. Yep, we had it on Coinbase. What is going on? Okay. Yeah, I mean, ICP, we gave out this nice little long, you know, you topped at the triple top, bang, bang, bang. So obviously you didn't get your full take profit on this, but you got your triple top take profit, 3.5x risk to reward ratio. I mean, you're bottoming out right now. That's the only good thing. I mean, if you're talking DCA bags, bro, here's your time to buy right here at $2.98. Okay. You know, and this is the lowest that this chart has been in literally since 2023. Okay. So now I'm not like, this would have been a great one. The Trump dump, oh man, you would have gotten it for $2 almost, right? But right here, one thing you got to pay attention to though, is that you do have this descending triangle, okay? So like if you're not okay DCAing, do not start DCAing here because there is, I mean, you can take a small position, but there is the possibility that you break down somewhere pretty close to where that Trump dump happened, which is right here at about $2. So if you're DCAing, great, you know, but once you get under here, once you get under $2.95, you got to short, man. You got to start shorting, right? Yep, Bitcoin dumping again, just dumping out. New low. Let's see if we get a bearish or a bullish divergence. And we do. We do. So long as we set this low here, swing failure pattern, bullish divergence. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we get the SFP here. We probably, I mean, maybe we do, maybe we don't, but this is literally 4 minutes away. Okay, so you're not going to know this for a while. I mean, you can go down here and look at the 1 minute chart and see if you get a market structure shift. As it sits right now, you did get the SFP on that, on the 1 minute chart, but does the 1 minute chart matter as much? Absolutely not. Abso-friggin-lutely not. You did get a nice bullish divergence too, like a massive bullish divergence. Now, price barely trending down, RSI clearly trending up, right? Let me just pull up RSI. Bang, bang, right? And we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. Is it going to run? Is it going to not run? You know, you gotta see what the charts give you, right? We don't know yet. We don't know yet. All right, ICP. Now let's go to Toshi, because I know Paul Grazzi wants Toshi. You said you were up 26% on this or something overnight, pretty much, right? Where was it at? Yeah, right here. Toshi trade up 29% since yesterday, printing, right? So let's see. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I mean, nice until now, right? Obviously, until now, where it's basically parred all of those gains if you entered yesterday. But that doesn't mean that it's over, right? Bitcoin bounces here, and Toshi could bounce in a meaningful way. Now, this is what I call fiddling in the middle. I don't like the 0.5. I do not like the 0.5 at all. Right now, if you're coming from above it, yeah, as a bounce point, okay, I totally get it. And if you're an advanced trader and you absolutely know what you're doing, yeah, BTC is dumping, absolutely dumping. He dumped out, right? But we actually caught the dump from earlier. Where's my, do I not have the Discord up right now? I must have exited that out. Yeah, we actually kind of called this dump earlier, just so that you know. Let's see, where's my, I got to make sure I'm in the right Discord. Bang. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we called this out a little bit earlier today. And as you can see, we took a nice little short. It wasn't huge, right? 15.6 to 14.8. I wanted to, you know, and yesterday we were calling this level out like, dude, we called this level out how many times yesterday? $113,300, and we came down to it, bounced, boom, right? We're coming down to it again. Do we get another bounce? I don't know. We'll see. There's no guarantees in life, but death and taxes, right? But if you want these calls, man, seriously, dude, just get, since yesterday, I don't know about now, but Bitcoin's dumping. I didn't check it. Yeah, it was. No, I don't think that the bull run's over. I'll show you where the bull run ends if you want me to. Is there a gap candle on the 15-minute chart? I do not see one. Not in 24/7 markets, bro. I don't know what you're calling gaps. Are you talking about fair value gaps? Because if you're talking about a fair value gap, then absolutely there is, right? Absolutely there is. And there's a fair value gap right here on the 5-minute chart. And then if you go up to the 15-minute chart, massive, massive fair value gap all the way up to $114,777, essentially, right? So, I mean, yeah, there's definitely a gap candle if you're talking fair value gaps. Staircase to heaven to me, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one thing I will say is that we can now move our liquidity curve. And there's going to be a lot liquidity here, right? There's going to be a lot of liquidity here, right? So are they going to want to come back up and take this liquidity before they make a move down? Probably. I mean, they don't like to just dump it. They like to run it back, right? Boom, boom, take it out, dump it again, right? Same thing, you know? Oh, the CME gap. There could be a CME gap for sure. There definitely could be a CME gap. I mean, I would pay attention to it. I wouldn't trade solely based off of it, but you know, gaps are essentially imbalances in the market, man. Gaps are essentially imbalances in the market that can tell you where price could be returning to balance out the market again. And what do I mean by that? I mean that there was a lot of buying or selling happening, right? Depending on whether you're going up, right, or going down. there was a lot of selling happening here, right? You've got an order block here where the institutions were trying to get a lot of orders before they dumped this out. Then it dumped, right? And a lot of times what institutions want to do is they want to double or even triple tap that so that they can make the real move, because they're looking to fill $20 billion up here, $2 billion, $7 billion up there, right? Yeah. We'll see. But as it sits right now, sorry, this thing keeps, I hate these stupid tools, man. As it sits right now, if you want to know where the actual bull run ends, let me get all this stuff off my chart. Nah, let's leave that fair value gap, or not that fair value gap, the order block. It's a 15-minute order block, or is it a 5-minute order block? Okay. I'll show you where the bull run ends, because it's probably not where you think. Okay. Where's my daily chart? Boom. Okay, so this is where the bull run ends, okay? And this is an unfortunate fact, but people need to be aware of it and ready for it, because this is something I alerted people of a very, very long time ago. And it's this. Wonder why we're dumping? Well, because we've been trying to close a candle inside of this friggin' thing forever, right? I called this out a million times. This is the back test of the rising wedge pattern that we took a $2,000 gain the last time we back tested this, right? The last time we back tested this was right here. We dumped out. We got in at 113, 114, something like that. And we got out at 109, right? We took a $2,000 gain last week on that trade just by itself, just that one trade, right? Same thing could happen here, right? But you could also see a WV pattern, boom, and then a bounce down to 109.5, fulfill this liquidity pocket, boom, blast it to the upside, right? So, but if you want to know where the bull run ends, it's very simple. This is your uptrend line, bang, 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 right? Your bull run ends right here at $96,000 as it sits right now. If we go below $96,000, it's bearish, 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 right? We stay above this line, we're still very bullish. Bull run is not over, right? But they're going to want to take liquidity on the way down and on the way up, right? And look at this, right? This was a WV pattern, okay? This is just some high-level sauce, right? So this was where you topped out when you tried to come back up here to these highs. Again, double bottomed, boom, blasted up, new all-time highs, right? What does that line up with? What does this line up with right here? I don't know, man. Sometimes it really is that simple. You just got to know what you're talking about. You got to know what you're doing, right? Yeah. That's what it comes down to, man. You got to stay above 96, right? And you got to get through this order block. You've hit it 3 times. Once, twice, 3 times right here. Bang, bang, bang. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You never really got 50% of the way through it. This thing still hasn't been mitigated, man. This is still going to be resistance, even if you get back up to it again tomorrow, right? It's still going to be resistance all the way up to about 117.8. So call it 118. You get up above 118, you're looking real good. You're looking for longs at that point, right? This is what I'm saying. You get back up here, boom, you crack it, bang, bang. And you don't even have to crack the whole thing. You really just got to crack 117, come back down, back test it, boom, you're blasting up. You're targeting this naked point of control at $121,000. It's literally that simple. I mean, obviously it's not that simple. You know what I'm saying? But like when I'm explaining it, it's that simple, right? Paul, dude, your strategies are on point, homie. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. Your strategies are usually pretty on point, dog. Usually looking at the 15-minute, then I drop down to the 5-minute for my strategy, 1 minute for my entry. Perfect. You're literally doing, I mean, you do SMC, don't you? You do smart money concepts, I bet. So, moral of the story, stay above 96, right? Moral of the story is just stay above 96, man. Right now. Not forever, right? Well, kind of forever, but you know what I'm saying. Like, just as it sits right now, it's 96. Tomorrow could be 97. The next day could be 96 or 97.3, right? So you got to trail that line up, and you got to be cognizant and aware of what is actually happening at those points, okay? So again, I think we can all recognize what's happening here, right? Massive, massive, massive rising wedge pattern. That's very simple to see, right? I mean, I feel like it's about as simple as it can possibly be to see, right? So if that's the case, and you get a bearish back test of this, what do you think the move is, right? The move is shorting. The move is shorting until it proves you otherwise. And that is literally here at about 115. 115. If you close above 115 today, you're looking a lot better. But if you don't, you're looking a lot worse. Okay? You're looking a lot worse. Okay? So with that being said, that's essentially what I'm seeing inside of the markets right now. Do whatever you want, but my bias would be, if you want that high level sauce, man, seriously, I cannot stress this enough. I can't say it more times than I already do. You got to get inside of that VIP trading room. It's literally the first link in the description. If you're not following, how many times we've called these markets out just in the past 2 weeks, right? If by now you're not following, how can I prove it to you more? Drop it in the comment section and tell me, what else can I do to prove it to you that this is the place to be, right? We have a 100% absolutely tracked, live, and documented win rate. That win rate is, what, 88, 89% right now? We've been calling it out, giving people trades for free for weeks and weeks and months and months. Earlier this year, I took a crypto account from $3,000 to $24,000 live on this channel, showed everybody. Follow, man. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. How many people we have on YouTube? It's literally just Paul Grazzi and no one else is here. That's crazy. Everybody's from Twitter. That is nutty bars. Twitter people, hit the follow button. Somehow now there's 4 people on YouTube. That's wild. Twitter people, hit the follow button and make sure that you share this around. If you actually care about people, share it. Make sure they're getting the right analysis. Make sure they're getting high-level analysis, okay? And make sure you get into the private VIP trading room. It is literally the link in my description. And secondarily, if you're here on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Bang on that notification bell. Boom, baby. And obviously, make sure you get into the private VIP trading room. I will see you all soon. I appreciate you so much.